Dear friends, English literature, romantic poetry, Lord Byron, Don Juan, Canto 1, short questions with answers. Short question 1 to 11. Question 1. What is satire? Answer. Satire is a literary piece of composition which intends to arouse ridicule, contempt, or disgust at abuses and follies of man and woman of the society. Its aim is to correct the malpractices by inspiring both indignation and laughter with a combination of criticism, ironic humor, and wit. Satire is sometimes divided into formal and indirect. In formal satire, the writer or his mouthpiece speaks in the first person directly to the reader or sometimes to other character. In indirect satire, the writer creates a story peopled with characters who speak and act in such a manner that themselves become the target of satire. Satire may also be classified into two, Horatian and Juvenalian. Horatian satire, named after the poet, Roman poet Horace, is gentle, amused, and mildly corrective. In contrast, Juvenalian satire is harsh, biting, bitter, misanthropic, and full of indignation and contempt. Question 2. Comment on Byron as a satirist. Answer. Byron is a satirist. His Don Juan is an epic satire. The hero of this epic satire is Don Juan, a Spanish adventurer, and his biography, that thread on which Byron hangs description, episodes, and satirical digressions. In Don Juan, Byron records the panoramic survey of human society with foibles and weaknesses of social institutions and political personalities. In the poem, he satirized the code of law prevailing at the moment. Hypocrisy and corruption of women is satirized in the character of Inez and Julia. Before marriage, Inez had illicit love affair with Alfonso, and she continued this affair even after her marriage. But it's ironical that she wants to make her son a man of perfect morality, remaining herself involved in immorality. Similarly, Julia gets involved in having sex with Juan when Juan is with her in her bed. Alfonso comes to search the room, but she denies the presence of Juan. She begins to rebuke her husband. She starts weeping to prove her innocence. Ultimately, Juan is discovered and she proves herself unfaithful. Thus, in the poem, Byron satirizes individual, social institutions, and modern society in general. Question 3. Is Byron a romantic poet? Answer. Byron is undoubtedly a romantic poet. Like the Romantics, he had a deep love for nature, freedom, passion, melancholy, and romance. Number 1, Byron is a romantic in his treatment of nature. He does not perceive any divine power or, like Keats, any spirit of beauty in nature. His approach to nature is realistic. It is at the same time an helping agent and destructive. It helps Juan and Julia's union, which at the same time spoils them. Number 2, Byron is romantic in his treatment of love. In this, he is much more adventurous than Wordsworth and more experienced than Keats. In the case of love, Byron, number 1, was searching for a dominating woman like her mother, and number 2, for a powerful passion that come out of the affection of the first love. In Don Juan, Byron embodies both these in Julia. Number 2, Byron is a true representative of the romantic spirit in his belief in the individual liberty and his hatred for tyranny and despotism. Number 4, like the Romantics, his poetry is pervaded by a sense of melancholy and steeped in romance. Number 5, his poetic inspiration, like that of Wordsworth or Shelley, has come from the French Revolution. Question 4. Why is he called a romantic paradox? Answer. Though Byron occupies a peculiar position in the history of English Romanticism. He comes forward as the dauntless champion of Romanticism, for which he is called a romantic paradox. Number one, he proclaims himself an adherent of the Augustan school and admires Pope and disparages Wordsworth and Coleridge, from whom the Romantics held in high esteem. Number two, unlike the Romantics, he is fond of realism. He is concerned to show things really as they are and not as they ought to be. Number three, he despises imagination, which is the central creed of Romanticism. He finds imagination to be quite at variance with reality. Number four, like Augustan writers, his genius is essentially satiric. His main works are satirical in content, like the works of the classical poets. Number five, his anti-romantic attitude reveals itself in his love for the Augustan poetic diction. Number five, what is an epic hero? Answer. Number one, an epic hero is a man of a strong personality. Number two, he is a formidable figure of a high stature. Number three, he belongs to a high pedigree and possesses valor to the highest degree. Number four, he stands for noble causes, and in course of story, he performs many noble deeds for the interest of his tribe or nation. Number five, he is drawn as a great, noble, and inspiring personality. Question 6. What do you know about a Byronic hero? Answer. Byronic hero is different from traditional hero. Number one, the Byronic hero reflects aspects of Byron's characters. He is a projection of Byron's own personality, his likings and dislikings, his hatreds and antipathies. Number two, the Byronic hero is a rogue, a man of loose moral. He falls in love with several women and enjoy pleasures of sex. Number three, he is an embodiment of restlessness. Number four, he represents pride and bravery. He is indomitable. He loves freedom and rebels against oppression and restraint. Number five, he is very much adventurous. He is brave enough to set sail to the unknown seas as well as for uncertain life. Number seven, what do you know about Julian's father? Answer. Juan's father. Answer. Juan's father was Don José, who was born in Seville, a pleasant city in Spain and famous for oranges and women. He was a true Hidalgo, a pure-blooded Spanish. He was free from any stain of Moor or Hebrew blood. He was a bitter cavalier and never mounted any horse. He was a careless man. He had no love neither for the learning nor for the learned. He liked to go anywhere, ignoring the anxiety of his wife. However, he was not faithful to his wife. There were rumors that he had a mistress or two besides his wife. Yet he was an honorable man. He was a born, ill-tempered person. He died of a slow fever, the tertian. Question 8. How was the relation with his wife, Donna Inés? Answer. His relation with his wife, Donna Inés, was bitter. They possessed different mentality. Inés was a learned woman and she was well-versed in every branch of learning. In contrast, Don José had no respect neither for the learning nor for the learned. Besides, Jos had a mistress or two. Inés could not endure his having mistress, though she herself had an illicit love affair with Alfonso before her marriage and continued it even after her marriage. Jose's having mistress was the source of the quarrel between them. They did not love each other. They lived separately. They lived respectively as husband and wife. They were very clever. They did not like each other. They showed no outward signs of inward strife. Inwardly, they were so alien to each other that they wished others' death, but they did not want divorce. Question 9. What do you know about Donna Inés's learning? Answer. Donna Inez was a learned lady. She gained fame for having knowledge in every branch of science, but fond of mathematics. She knew every Christian language. She made the cleverest people quite ashamed by displaying her wit. The cleverest people felt ashamed because they found their wit inferior to hers. She was a mine of memory. She learned by heart all the dramas of Calderon and a greater part of the dramas of Louvre, two Spanish dramatists. If an actor on the stage forgot his dialogue, she could help him by supplying the dialogue from her memory. She knew Latin, Greek, and French besides her native language, Spanish. She was experienced in Miss Edgeworth novels, Mrs. Trimmer's books, or Hannah More's novel, Qualev's wife. She had a habit of quoting from the books and letters preserved in her trunks, depending on the situation, and the hearers would like to repeat her speeches for amusement or old grazes. Question 10. How did she educate her son John? Answer. After the death of Don Jose, Donna Inez became the guardian of her son Don John. She wanted to make her son quite a paragon, all-round man. He had learned the art of riding, fencing, gunnery, and how to scale a fortress or a nunnery. Now she desired to teach him morality. She appointed learned tutors for him. She herself selected the books which were to be taught to him. All the subjects of arts and science were submitted to her first, and then she chose from them which should be taught to Juan. Juan read the dead languages, the sciences, and the arts which are used commonly. But he was not allowed to read any page of something which is loose, lest he should become vicious. His wise tutor taught him great classics like Aeneid, Iliad, and Odyssey. He was taught the best editions of the books, the grosser parts of which were left out and reprinted for the schoolboys. Thus Juan was taught under the special care of Donna Inez. Question 11. What do you know about Juan's parentage? I repeat it, please. What do you know about Julia's parentage? Answer. Donna Julia was of Moorish origin. She was not totally Spanish when Abu Abdullah, the last Muslim Moorish king, was defeated in 1492 and his capital was captured by the Spaniards. Some of Julia's ancestors left Spain for Africa and some stayed in Spain. At the time, her great-great-grandmother chose to remain in Spain. She married a Hidalgo, a true-blooded Spanish. He spoiled his family prestige by marrying her because his ancestors did not accept their marriage. So their marriage was an unhappy one. However, marrying their cousins, their aunts, and their nieces, they thoroughly spoiled the breed. But the breed was restored again, and a beautiful branch sprang from the ugliest root in ancient Spain. Their sons were no longer short and daughter no longer plain. Step by step, the race of the family was improving. From that improved generation, Julia's father was produced illegally by her grandmother. Julia's father was the only son of the family, and she herself was the only daughter of her father. Thus, Julia is a cross of the Mauritian Spanish. Thank you, friends.